you wake up. The room is quiet. Sunlight bleeds through the curtains. You feel a heavy weight resting at the foot of your bed. Are you truly alone? You turn your head slowly. A pair of eyes is already locked onto yours. It is your dog. The dog stares at you with wide, unblinking eyes. You feel an immediate, undeniable rush of warmth spreading through your chest. You smile. You reach out to stroke its fur. You think this is just a beautiful moment of cross-species friendship. But what if you are completely wrong? For 99% of human history, this wasn't just a cute interaction. This was a calculated, biological infiltration. Your brain has just been hacked. You are experiencing a neurochemical hijack, engineered over tens of thousands of years. We like to think we are the masters of the natural world. We built cities. We split the atom. We put humans on the moon. How could a simple animal manipulate the most complex brain on Earth? The truth is hidden deep inside your neurochemistry. Animals have spent millennia decoding your biological vulnerabilities. They did not use tools or weapons. They used your own hormones against you. Let us examine exactly what happened when you looked into those eyes. Your brain contains a tiny, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. This is your threat detection center. For your ancient ancestors, the amygdala was the key to survival. It constantly scanned the horizon for predators. It told you when to run. It told you when to fight. Why didn't your amygdala fire when you saw an apex predator sitting on your bed? Because that predator has learned the exact biological password to bypass your security system. In 2015, a researcher named Dr. Takefumi Kikusui at Azabu University conducted a groundbreaking study. He wanted to know what actually happens when dogs and humans make eye contact. He placed humans and their dogs in a room. He instructed them to look into each other's eyes. Then, he measured their urine for specific hormones. The results shocked the scientific community. When dogs and humans stare at each other, both species experience a massive spike in oxytocin. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone or the cuddle chemical. It is the exact same chemical responsible for maternal bonding. When a human mother looks at her newborn infant, her brain floods with oxytocin. This hormone forces her to feel immense love. It forces her to protect the baby at all costs. It suppresses the fear and stress responses in the amygdala. Dr. Kikusui discovered that dogs have hijacked this exact maternal bonding pathway. When your dog stares at you, your brain literally registers it as your own child. Your oxytocin levels surge by 300%. Your stress melts away. Your defenses drop. But here is the truly crazy part. The dog's oxytocin levels also surge by 130%. It is a continuous, self-reinforcing biological loop. You look at the dog, and your oxytocin rises. This makes you act more affectionate. The dog senses your affection, and its oxytocin rises. This makes the dog stare at you even longer. Did any other animal figure this out? Wolves are the genetic ancestors of dogs. They share almost all of their DNA. Dr. Kikusui tested wolves raised by humans from birth. He wanted to see if tame wolves also triggered this loop. The wolves would not make eye contact. They actively avoided human gazes. When they did look, human oxytocin levels did not change. The wolves did not have the biological password. Sometime in the deep prehistoric past, a specific lineage of wolves figured it out. They realized that eye contact was the key to the human heart. They evolved a new behavior just to manipulate our brain chemistry. But they did not stop at behavior. They literally changed their own facial anatomy to hack us better. Dr. Brian Hare at the Duke Canine Cognition Center studies how dogs evolved to read our minds. His research shows that dogs developed specialized facial muscles that wolves simply do not have. These muscles allow them to raise their inner eyebrows. This creates what we call puppy dog eyes. When a dog makes puppy dog eyes, it mimics the exact facial proportions of a human infant. It makes their eyes look larger. It makes their faces look rounder and more vulnerable. Your brain is hardwired to respond to vulnerable human infants. When you see those raised eyebrows, your brain cannot help but release more oxytocin. You are biologically compelled to feed them. You are biologically compelled to shelter them. They hacked our maternal instincts to secure a permanent food source. But dogs are not the only animals running complex neurochemical exploits on your brain. Let us talk about an animal that operates with far more subtlety: the domestic cat. Cats have a reputation for being aloof. They seem independent. They seem like they do not need us at all, yet millions of humans willingly scoop their toxic waste. Millions of humans spend vast amounts of resources keeping them comfortable. Why do we do this for an animal that barely acknowledges our existence? Because cats have hacked your auditory processing center. They use a highly specialized sonic frequency weapon. You know this weapon as the purr. A normal cat purr is a sign of contentment. It happens at a low frequency. It is soothing and rhythmic. But cats have developed a secondary, secret sound. It is called the solicitation purr. They only use it when they want something from humans. Usually, they use it when they want food. In 2009, Dr. Karen McComb at the University of Sussex published a remarkable study on this phenomenon. She noticed her own cat waking her up every morning with a very specific, annoying purr. She asked other cat owners. They all reported the same thing. Dr. McComb recorded these solicitations and analyzed their acoustic frequencies. She discovered something terrifyingly brilliant. Embedded inside the low-pitched purr is a high-frequency cry. This high-frequency cry peaks at around 300 to 600 Hz. Do you know what else peaks at that exact frequency? The distress cry of a human baby. Cats have learned to embed the precise acoustic signature of a crying infant inside a pleasant purr. Your brain's auditory cortex receives this signal. It instantly triggers a subconscious sense of urgency. You do not know why you feel compelled to feed the cat. You just know that you cannot ignore the sound. It is annoying, yet oddly acceptable. If the cat just meowed loudly, you might get angry and throw it out of the room. But by hiding the distress cry inside a purr, the cat bypasses your conscious irritation. It sneaks directly into your nurturing instincts. Dr. McComb found that even people who have never owned a cat rate the solicitation purr as more urgent and unpleasant than a normal purr. It is a universal hack of the human nervous system. The cat is literally playing your brain like an instrument, and we haven't even mentioned the biological parasite they carry, Toxoplasma gondii. It is a microscopic parasite that thrives in the intestines of cats. It needs to get into cats to reproduce. But it often finds its way into rodents. When a rodent is infected, the parasite rewires its brain. The rodent loses all fear of the smell of cat urine. It becomes attracted to cats. It practically serves itself up as dinner. Humans also get infected with this parasite. In fact, nearly 1/3 of the global human population currently has Toxoplasma gondii in their brains. Does it affect us the same way? Does it make us love cats more? Some evolutionary biologists believe it might slightly alter our neurotransmitters. It increases dopamine production. It might make us more prone to risk-taking. While the direct manipulation of humans by this parasite is still debated, the concept is terrifying. An organism could literally live in your brain and alter your behavior to benefit a feline host. But let us step away from our pets for a moment. You might think that only domesticated animals have had enough time to hack us. You might think wild animals are immune to this relationship. You would be wrong. Deep in the savannas and forests of Africa, wild animals are actively hacking human behavior right now. There is a small bird known as the greater honey guide. It lives in the wild. It has never been tamed. It has never been domesticated. Yet it has developed a sophisticated system for manipulating human hunters. The honey guide loves to eat beeswax, but it cannot break open wild beehives on its own. The bees would sting it to death. The bird needs a heavy, fire-wielding brute to do the dirty work. It needs you. Dr. Claire Spottiswoode from the University of Cambridge has spent years studying the Yao honey hunters of Mozambique. These human hunters rely on wild honey for survival. When a honey hunter wants to find a hive, he makes a very specific trilling sound. The wild honey guide bird hears this sound. It flies out of the canopy and presents itself to the human. Then, it begins a complex dance. It chatters loudly. It flashes its white tail feathers. It flies from tree to tree, constantly checking to make sure the human is following. The bird leads the human directly to the hidden beehive. The human chops open the tree. The human uses smoke to pacify the bees. The human takes the honey. The human leaves the wax for the bird. This is not a trained trick. This is a wild, instinctual behavior. The bird has learned to hack the human's ability to use tools. It views humans the same way we view a hammer or a knife. We are simply an instrument for the bird to achieve its goals. Dr. Spottiswoode discovered that the birds actually recognize specific human calls. They respond to the Yow hunter's traditional calls, but ignore random human noises. They have learned our language. They have figured out how to direct our actions. They hack our desire for sweet, calorie-dense food. They know we cannot resist the promise of sugar. So they use our own cravings to manipulate us into acting as their personal demolition crew. This begs a massive evolutionary question. Who is really in charge here? We look back at human history and pride ourselves on our dominance. We believe we tamed the wild world. But the anthropologist Pat Shipman proposed a radical idea called the animal connection hypothesis. She argues that human evolution itself was driven by our deep neurological entanglement with animals. We didn't just conquer them. We merged our cognitive networks with theirs. Let us reconstruct a day in the deep past. Imagine you are a hunter-gatherer living 30,000 years ago. You are sitting by a smoking campfire. The night is pitch black. The forest beyond the firelight is full of terror, cave lions, short-faced bears, dire wolves. Your amygdala is screaming at you to stay awake. Your stress hormones are sky high. You are exhausted, but you cannot sleep because you must listen for snapping twigs. Then, a gray wolf steps into the edge of the firelight. It does not bare its teeth. It sits down. It looks at you. It raises its inner eyebrows. It makes eye contact. Suddenly, your brain chemistry shifts. The oxytocin floods your system. The stress drains out of your muscles. Your breathing slows down. You throw a piece of roasted meat to the wolf. The wolf eats it and lies down, facing the darkness. The wolf's ears twitch, listening to the forest. Your brain realizes something profound. The wolf is acting as your external alarm system. You do not need to listen anymore. You can finally close your eyes. You sleep deeply for the first time in weeks. In that ancient moment, a contract was signed. The wolf hacked your neurochemistry to get a free meal and a warm fire. You allowed your brain to be hacked because the physical benefits outweighed the risks. You outsourced your anxiety to another species. This cognitive outsourcing changed our bodies forever. Once we had dogs to guard us and hunt with us, our own senses began to dull. Our sense of smell grew weaker. Our hearing became less acute. Our physical strength diminished compared to our Neanderthal cousins. We did not need to be super predators anymore. We had biological hackers doing the work for us. We changed them, yes. We made them smaller. We changed the color of their coats. We made their ears floppy. But they changed us on a fundamental neurological level. They made us softer. They made us more trusting. They rewired the emotional centers of our brains. This hacking continues every single day in the modern world. Think about your daily routine. Think about the internet. What is the most popular type of content on the internet? It is not profound philosophical debates. It is not complex mathematical theorems. It is cat videos. It is pictures of dogs doing funny things. Your modern brain, highly evolved and supposedly rational, is still utterly defenseless against these biological exploits. You scroll through social media, feeling stressed and overwhelmed by modern life. Your cortisol levels are high. Your amygdala is agitated by news alerts and emails. Then, an algorithm presents you with a video of a golden retriever puppy. The puppy has huge eyes. It lets out a small, high-pitched whine. Instantly, your brain is compromised. The oxytocin hits your bloodstream. You stop scrolling. You watch the entire video. You send it to 3 of your friends. You have just acted as an unpaid distributor for a biological virus. The animal did not even need to be in the same room as you. It hacked your brain through a glowing rectangular screen. You are a victim of the most successful psychological operation in planetary history. But it is a hack that we welcome. We want to be manipulated by them. We crave the neurochemical relief they provide. In a world that often feels cold and disconnected, These animals offer a direct injection of pure, unfiltered bonding hormone. They bypass our intellect. They bypass our logic. They speak directly to the ancient, primitive core of our nervous system. They remind us that we are not entirely separate from the natural world. We are tangled up in it. We are biological machines, and our code is open source to those who know how to read it. They learned our passwords. They mimicked our infants. They imitated our cries of distress. They traded their wild freedom for comfortable captivity, and in return, they took control of our emotions. So the next time you wake up, the next time the room is quiet, the next time you feel that heavy weight at the foot of your bed, and you turn your head to see those wide, unblinking eyes staring back at you, remember the truth. You are not the master. You are the mark.